A new perspective on joint pain after 60. For many people, joint pain after the age of 60 has become so common that it is quietly accepted as an unavoidable part of aging. Morning stiffness that makes it difficult to bend the fingers, swelling in the joints, or aching knees after a short walk are often dismissed as just getting older. Friends, relatives, and even doctors may repeat the same message until we believe that discomfort is inevitable. But in truth, pain is not always a punishment of age, it is often a signal from the body. It may be telling us to move differently, to nourish ourselves better, or to release habits that are causing stress and strain. This small shift in thinking can transform how we respond to discomfort. In Japan, this mindset is deeply ingrained in everyday life. Elders there do not simply endure pain, they pay attention to it, seeing it as a prompt to care for themselves more intentionally. It is common to see men and women well into their 80s walking to the market, tending a home garden, or preparing balanced meals. Their vitality is not the absence of aches, but the result of listening to their bodies and making small, consistent changes. The lesson is simple yet profound. Pain may come, but it does not have to stay. With time, care, and the right approach, the body can still recover strength and maintain mobility, even after 60. East-West differences in managing joint pain. In many parts of the world, when someone over 60 complains of joint pain, the first response is often medical intervention. Pills, injections, and even the prospect of surgery are presented as the main, and sometimes only, options. These treatments may provide temporary relief, but they rarely address the underlying causes of pain, leaving people dependent on medication for years. In contrast, many Japanese households follow a different path. Here, the first prescription often comes from the kitchen rather than the pharmacy. The belief is simple: food can be the most gentle and effective form of medicine. Instead of immediately suppressing symptoms, they focus on supporting the body's natural ability to heal, starting with ingredients that have been trusted for generations. Meals are built around fresh vegetables, fermented foods, and plant-based proteins that reduce inflammation and strengthen the body from within. Dishes like tofu simmered with seaweed, miso soup stirred gently after cooking, and steamed edamame sprinkled with sea salt are not special treatments, they are everyday staples. This approach is rooted in prevention and balance, rather than crisis management. By nourishing the body daily with anti-inflammatory foods, elders maintain mobility, muscle strength, and overall vitality well into their later years. It's a philosophy that sees food not just as sustenance, but as a daily act of care, a steady, quiet medicine that works over time. The hidden root of joint pain: chronic inflammation. Much of the joint pain experienced after 60 does not come simply from wear and tear of aging, but from a silent, ongoing process inside the body: chronic inflammation. This internal fire builds slowly over the years, fueled by factors such as stress, diets high in processed foods, lack of movement, and environmental toxins. Unlike acute inflammation, which helps the body heal after an injury, chronic inflammation quietly damages tissues, joints, and even muscles over time. In many cases, people respond to pain with more medication, which may mask the discomfort but rarely calms the source of the problem. The Japanese approach takes a different route. Instead of relying solely on pills, they turn to foods that naturally soothe inflammation from the inside out. The focus is on gentle yet powerful ingredients: plant-based proteins, fiber-rich vegetables, fermented foods, and mineral-rich sea vegetables. These not only nourish the body, but also help restore balance to the immune system, reducing the likelihood of joint swelling and stiffness. This way of thinking treats inflammation as something that can be managed daily through consistent habits, rather than something to be fought only when symptoms flare. It's about building resilience over time. When the body is regularly supported with the right nutrients, inflammation begins to subside, joints move more freely, and pain gradually loses its grip. The Japanese philosophy of nutrition. In Japan, healthy eating is not about chasing trends or searching for miracle cures. It is about balance, simplicity, and consistency. This philosophy has deep cultural roots, shaped by centuries of tradition and the influence of Buddhist cuisine, known as Shojin Ryori, originally developed by monks. This plant-based approach focuses on harmony between body, mind, and nature, with meals designed to heal as much as they nourish. Rather than focusing on strict diets or counting every gram of protein, Japanese elders aim for variety and seasonal freshness. Foods are chosen not only for their nutritional value but also for how they work together. A bowl of tofu miso soup with seaweed might seem simple, yet it combines protein, probiotics, minerals, and anti-inflammatory compounds in one gentle dish. This way of eating is not about perfection. Elders in Japan don't follow rigid meal plans. Instead, they repeat small, mindful practices day after day. They trust that the body benefits most from consistent, moderate nourishment over decades, rather than dramatic short-term changes. What makes this philosophy so powerful is its sustainability. There is no pressure to overhaul everything overnight. A single swap, replacing processed meat with tofu, adding miso soup to breakfast twice a week, can be enough to begin. Over time, these small steps build resilience, reduce inflammation, and support strong, flexible joints well into old age. The benefits of plant-based protein for joint health. Plant-based protein offers unique advantages for maintaining joint health, particularly in older adults. Unlike red meat, which can trigger inflammatory pathways in the body, plant proteins are naturally anti-inflammatory. Processed meats, in particular, have been linked to increased stiffness, swelling, and higher markers of inflammation in seniors. By choosing plant-based sources, the body receives steady nourishment without the inflammatory load that often worsens joint pain. One key benefit is digestibility. Plant proteins such as tofu, edamame, and miso are gentle on aging digestive systems, making them easier to absorb without placing excess strain on the liver or kidneys. This slow and gradual absorption supports muscle maintenance, joint lubrication, and bone strength over time. Beyond protein, these foods provide an entire spectrum of nutrients: phytonutrients that fight oxidative stress, fermented enzymes that improve gut health, and minerals like calcium, magnesium, and potassium that directly support joint flexibility and bone density. Perhaps most importantly, plant proteins fit seamlessly into daily life. They can be prepared simply, paired with anti-inflammatory ingredients like seaweed or mushrooms, and enjoyed as part of a balanced meal. Over time, these small, consistent choices help reduce inflammation, preserve mobility, and keep muscles strong well into the later years of life. The Japanese experience shows us that plant protein isn't a passing health trend, it's a lifestyle choice rooted in tradition, offering both healing and strength for the aging body. The power of food pairing in Japanese cuisine. In Japan, food is not only chosen for its individual benefits, but also for how it works in harmony with other ingredients. This thoughtful pairing creates meals that are more than the sum of their parts, delivering a powerful synergy for reducing inflammation, supporting joint health, and nourishing the whole body. Seaweed, such as wakame, kombu, and nori, is often paired with tofu miso. Rich in minerals like magnesium and iodine, seaweed helps reduce joint inflammation and supports thyroid health, which is crucial for maintaining energy and hormonal balance in older adults. When combined with plant protein, it creates a gentle yet complete meal that fuels the body without strain. Another common pairing is tofu with shiitake mushrooms. Shiitake contains erythadinine, a compound that may help lower inflammation and improve blood flow, vital for easing stiff joints and cold extremities. Together, they deliver both protein and immune-supportive compounds, making them a staple in meals enjoyed by Japanese centenarians. Fermented vegetables, or soothe, are also popular companions to miso. These colorful pickles add beneficial bacteria to the gut, directly lowering inflammation throughout the body. For a portable snack, edamame with sesame seeds offers protein, healthy fats, and copper, a mineral important for cartilage health and reducing swelling. This art of pairing transforms simple ingredients into healing meals. It's not about complexity, but about balance, a lesson that has sustained Japanese elders for generations. The rhythm of eating and the spirit of nourishment. For Japanese elders, healthy eating is not about strict rules or counting every nutrient. It is about rhythm, balance, and intention. Meals are built with variety and harmony, not perfection. This gentle approach removes the stress often associated with healthy eating and turns daily meals into acts of care for both body and spirit. Instead of overhauling the entire diet, they focus on adding small, meaningful changes that fit naturally into everyday life. A single combination, such as tofu with mushrooms or edamame with sesame, becomes part of a routine, repeated over years until it is simply a way of life. these habits work quietly, supporting joints, muscles, and overall vitality without the feeling of sacrifice. Drinks are also chosen with care. Warm, anti-inflammatory teas like Genmika, green tea with roasted brown rice or bancha, are often sipped before or during meals, never after. This timing supports digestion, reduces post-meal inflammation, and promotes circulation. Simple traditions that, over time, preserve energy and comfort. This rhythm of eating nourishes more than just the body. It creates moments of mindfulness, connection, and gratitude. Food is not rushed. It is respected. Over decades, these small, steady practices shape resilience, making aging less about decline and more about living fully, with strength and grace. Starting with small, consistent steps, healing from years of joint pain doesn't always require drastic measures. In fact, the Japanese approach teaches us that change is most sustainable when it begins with small, consistent steps. You don't have to transform your entire lifestyle overnight. You only need to begin and keep going. For some, that first step might be as simple as replacing a processed meat sandwich with tofu or adding a bowl of miso soup to breakfast twice a week. For others, it could mean keeping a bag of frozen edamame in the freezer for quick snacks. These small choices may seem insignificant, but repeated over time, they build a foundation for better mobility, reduced inflammation, and stronger muscles. The key is to remove the pressure of perfection. Japanese elders don't eat perfectly every day. Instead, they focus on balance, rhythm, and kindness toward the body. Food becomes a form of self-care, chosen with the intention to nourish rather than just to fill. With each mindful choice, the body feels supported and heard. Gradually, the stiffness eases, steps become lighter, and energy returns. This is not about quick fixes, but about building resilience, meal by meal, day by day. Over the years, these habits become part of a way of life, one that allows you to age with strength, grace, and independence. The essence of the Japanese way of living. In Japan, aging is not something to be feared. It is respected, embraced, and lived with dignity. Wrinkles, slower steps, and occasional aches are not seen as signs of decline, but as natural markers of a life well lived. The strength and vitality of Japanese elders come not from expensive treatments or rigid diets, but from consistency, community, and daily acts of self-care, especially in the foods they choose. Even centenarians rarely follow extreme regimens. Instead, they keep moving, walking to the market, preparing their own meals, sharing food with friends and neighbors. These routines, simple as they may seem, create a foundation for resilience. Food plays a central role in this lifestyle, not as a quick fix, but as a lifelong partner in health. The Japanese way reminds us that healing and strength are built slowly, over decades. It is the rhythm of small choices: a cup of tea before a meal, a bowl of miso soup in the morning, a handful of edamame in the afternoon, that shapes long-term well-being. You don't have to live in Japan to follow this path. Wherever you are, you can bring the same mindfulness to your plate. Begin with what is simple and sustainable, and let each day build upon the last. Over time, you'll discover that aging can be a graceful journey, one filled with strength, connection, and peace.